How is it that I always get stuck with you on rooftop stakeout duty?
I'm sorry, Stu, are we not friends?
It's Eustace, and we never were.
Tease.
Shut up and sit down.
Fine. Ow!
What now?
I sat on my dice.
Is that a euphemism?
No, see? Actual metal dice.
Where did you get those?
The crazy woman. But you can buy them at metallicdicegames.com.
metallicdicegames.com?
Yeah, and you can get 10% off from the Rancor's brothel. Or was that for the brothel?
Cecil.
Sorry, what? Yes. 10% off at checkout using code RBP10.
metallicdicegames.com, promo code RBP10?
Correct, my friend.
Yeah, we still aren't friends.
Don't care. Damn it.
What is it this time?
I have to pee again.
Just go.
Fine, but no peeking.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Nope, not gonna happen.
What the hell happened?
Nothing. Why didn't we go with the ball-shaving one?
Warning, this podcast contains mature content, including scenes or descriptions of graphic violence, sexuality, and psychological trauma. Listener discretion is advised.
The Rancor's Brothel presents Impossible Landscapes. A Delta Green campaign by Dennis Detweiler. I'm assuming that the group sent you, yes?
Your guess would be correct.
Good.
So, that means you know why we're here then.
I give him the Zoltan symbol. No, I was kidding.
Yes, I am familiar with the group's activities for a long time. What do you agents need to know?
Suppose for starters, the four that went missing, who are they? Why were they here?
Yes. Here. Probably easiest to do this. And it looks like he was prepared for this. He reaches into the desk and pulls out a file and tosses it on the table. Here's some preliminary background information, medical records in terms of what we were doing, sort of some general information. I think this will be beneficial in the beginning stages of what you're doing. And I added a file called Patient Records to the Dropbox. I don't know if any of you are of the medical profession, but there are some charts and stuff in there as well. I don't think that it is pertinent to the situation, but I wanted to be thorough for the group, just in case. For the audience, they've received probably 4 or 5 paragraphs, roughly, per patient of various information, including backgrounds, reasons for being in the psychiatric facility, how long they've been in the Dorchester House, a rough estimation of current treatments, etc., etc. I don't know if you gentlemen, as you read it, I'll give you a second to read it while I go to the bathroom. If you feel like you want to read out sections of it or discuss it, feel free for the audience. It is a lot of information.
Well, they're all government people, former military, or
They're all special agents and government employees.
well, one just worked for a police.
Is that not a government job? I suppose it's not, is it?
But similar
Right.
feels there. So we have Pedro Gia. I think that's how you say that.
Sounds right.
47, Hispanic male, former Marine, Special Forces. Seems to be admitted in 2012 for PTSD related.
Which occurred in 2006.
Yes. You have Adam McLaughlin. Really weird name.
Yep.
56, Caucasian, former Air Force intelligence analyst. Seems to have hereditary schizophrenia, diagnosed in 2004, referred to Dorchester in 2008. Family went over medical custody. So, already, that's somebody who's been here more than 5 years.
Yeah.
Kim Plaslad,
Sounds right.
Asian female special agent in the FBI from Bangor, Maine. Let's see. Injured in the line of duty, multiple gunshot wounds.
Caused issues to the nervous system.
Yeah, her story's sad.
Admitted in 2011.
I mean, the next guy's is kind of sad, too.
Yeah.
Enrique Vidal, 44.
Assuming he was
Caucasian.
innocent anyway.
Enrique Vidal, 44, Caucasian male, former police, Chicago Police Department criminal psychologist. Been admitted in 2014.
Yeah, but this guy was a criminal. Suspected of child molestation or murder. Seems to be the big difference between the other three.
The last guy was
suspected of killing a child
yes,
molester.
he was likely innocent, and
sorry.
it drove him.
Misread. My apologies.
Yeah, he was
Crazy.
convicted.
Very tiny text on my phone.
But it doesn't mean he was innocent. He was just likely innocent. Obviously, there wasn't enough evidence to
Most
convict
likely,
him.
Yeah.
Dr. Dallin tosses that on the table, allows you to peruse that. What else would you folks like to know? What can I do?
What floor were these four on?
These four were restrained in their rooms on the 4th floor. Or on the 3rd floor, excuse me.
God damn it.
gonna
I was
say
about to say whole
record
night
scratch.
floors all over again.
I go up those stairs. Is there just going to be 10 more floors?
Well, so the thing was is that Flynn, I said 5 earlier, which I realize you all are looking for me to say things that you can be like, wait, that's inconsistent. And I went, whatever I do, I need to not say 5 because Flynn's already looking to see if I say 5 again. So I said 4, and I said those 4 were on the 4th. I went, oh, God damn it. Those 4 were restrained on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
So they didn't have any interaction with each other?
During the day, they may have had some limited interactions. Some of these patients, their treatments did demand restraints for extended periods of time, especially in the evening while sleeping.
But they probably weren't ever together long enough to come up with some kind of plan to escape, I assume.
It's entirely possible that they might have discussed that, but these patients would have been sedated and restrained to their beds sometime between 6 and 6:30 every evening.
6 p.m. and 6 a.m., I assume. That's
Yeah, they were restrained roughly between... Yeah, they'd be restrained between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. roughly.
So I don't know if she just maybe wasn't quite aware or a slip of the mind, but Gail didn't seem to think that there were many people here that had been here longer than 5 years, but it seemed that Mr. McLaughlin? How do you say that? McLaughlin?
McLaughlin.
I got the low cock.
Has been here since 2008, so, you know.
Yes. Some patients have been here for an extended period of time. There are some things that Gail would not know about this institution.
How long has she worked there? Here.
She's been here for 5-6 years, something like that.
Just for our general knowledge, the program would have existed before '08.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, Dallin would tell you. I don't know what you know, but there have been folks from the program in here.
weren't the 4 that escaped from the program?
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, we were informed on that.
I was just trying to get a timeline because if he's been here for that long, I didn't know.
You guys seem to have, I mean, pretty intense security here.
Yes.
I mean, and probably for good reason. But do you guys have? I mean, obviously, when these people went, so I'm sure somebody investigated, right?
Yes.
Like the cameras.
Correct.
Was there any evidence of them grouping together, talking together as a group?
You can definitely speak about that too. He's gonna give you a name. I gotta find it. I don't want to miss this page. There is an I don't know if he's an orderly or a nurse. There's another individual that he would throw a name out that I can't remember off the top of my head right now that is responsible for security and everything else.
I mean, he could just be security, like the guards. I mean,
no, it's someone within the institution. It's not
okay.
it's not a guard. I think it is. Let me see here. Yeah. Michael would be able to tell you, would be able to show you the security footage. It seems that there were some issues with the system within the day or two preceding up to, including the day they went missing. But
and after?
I'm not sure. I believe it's been corrected since that point.
Okay.
Michael would be able to provide further assistance.
How many other interior guards are there?
There are no official interior guards, specifically orderlies.
How many orderlies are there?
There are a total of 29, I believe, employees.
And that's between all 3 floors.
Correct. They're only
that 29. That's your full staff. So there's
correct.
Okay.
How many on duty at a time?
Uh,
How many on duty that night? Let's go with that.
I mean, so he lets you know, since you didn't ask before, there are only 22 patients in the entire place.
Between 3 floors?
Correct.
Why so minimal?
Safety for starters. The other thing that may or may not be obvious is that this is not a general care facility.
It's not your common psychiatric ward.
Correct.
So as we were walking through, were we seeing a lot of empty rooms, or are the rooms really big?
Or that far
People are
apart?
staying?
A little bit column A, a little bit of column B.
Okay.
He would let you know that there are 10 on the 3rd floor under secure observation, 8 are on the 2nd floor, and 4 are on the 1st floor.
There are 10 or there were 10?
10 are. There are currently 22 patients. 10, 8, and 4 is 22.
Well, that's
Yes.
why I'm trying to confirm. Is that
There should be
that's
26.
That's subtracting the 4 missing.
correct.
Okay.
So the supposed nature of their disappearance, they were like here 1 second, gone the next?
They were noted missing at 8:11 p.m.
On what day?
The 28th of August.
I wanted to hear him say it.
Oh, sorry.
They were sedated and in their beds, per the bed check of the orderlies and the nurse, at between 6 o'clock and 6:30 for the 4 patients.
Would you allow us to examine their rooms, assuming they're still empty?
No, absolutely. You have complete run of the building.
Okay.
Are there cameras in the rooms?
I would imagine so. Most psych wards do.
There's some information all over the place, so I think so. I'm trying to go off memory at this point. I'll have to flip a few pages and find, but I do think so. The first disappearance was noted at 8:11. By 8:22, all 4 were discovered missing, because as soon as one was discovered missing, they basically did bed checks for the entire building. So within 10 minutes, they realized all 4 of them were missing.
Well, my question is, if there are cameras in the rooms, are there tapes?
Michael would be able to show you that, but my understanding is that there was a situation with the cameras that night.
Yeah.
And 2 days prior.
My favorite Archangel.
He does hand you a photo, which is the same photo that Exeter showed you. This is the only thing we found, which was written.
In whose room specifically?
It's a great question. Probably Kim's. We'll go with Kim's.
That was the Abigail Wright thing?
Correct.
Okay.
And who was the first one that was noted missing?
Look.
So he shows us a picture. Is this writing still there?
No, it's been cleaned.
Of course.
Amateurs.
His poor idea.
We'll say Enrique Vidal was the first person noted missing.
Were they noticed like one by one, or just one was missing and then they realized all 4 were missing?
Yes. Once we noticed that a patient is hold on here. Once we notice that there is an off count, that's when we go through the building for everyone.
Those that were missing, the doors were still closed and locked, yes?
Correct. As you may have noticed, there is extreme security at every door.
Are there any kind of windows in each room?
There was no sign of any breach in the doors or walls. The computer log recorded no door entries between the time they were put to bed and when the door was opened to investigate their disappearance. All windows were secure.
Do you have any kind of library here?
No.
No books or anything were administered? These patients don't get a
shelves.
chance to read or anything?
There are some general books, but there's not a library per se.
That's fair.
Some periodicals here and there.
Where did we get the information that they all came in contact with some book?
That would have been from Exeter.
Yeah.
I know we got that, but like, where did he get that information?
We don't know.
Great question.
He barely told us anything.
Well, I'm just
It's
like,
true.
how would he know that? Like, he would have.
Because someone above him told him, and he relayed it to us.
Pretty much.
He was literally the middleman, it seems
He's
like.
probably the 3rd man.
Was there a book found in any of their rooms?
No. They would not have any personal possessions. Those folks on the 3rd floor have the most strict of secure policies. and they are not allowed street clothing, belts, shoelaces, candy, caffeine, cell phones, unsupervised internet access, drugs, or weapons.
We were told that that all four of them came into contact with a specific book. Do you know what that may have been?
If it has to do with the program, I would not.
If you would just let us go through the stacks of books you have.
Sure. No, I'll let you explore whatever you like. I will call in the head nurse. She'd be more than happy to take you wherever you'd like to go.
How much of their rooms already been gone through?
They were searched, obviously, by myself, by several folks here. I don't know what the answer is that you're looking for. Several people have searched through them in the last couple of days.
How close together are their rooms?
They're sporadic. 3 males, 1 female, so 3 on one side, 1 on the opposite dorm, because obviously males and females are kept separated.
Doesn't completely answer my question. Are they 3 next to each other? Are they separated?
They are separated. They were not side by side.
So it's not vicinity.
What was Kim's physical status? Her information says that she suffered some physical mobility issues.
Yes. Difficulty in terms of ambulatory function.
She have a wheelchair?
No. She would have been able to... She has trouble moving without assistance.
Walker, crutches?
She would not have been provided anything in her room.
Okay.
Whose wall was the writing found on, and what do
Kim.
you guys know about Abigail Wright?
That name is totally unfamiliar to me.
Okay, but whose room?
Kim's.
Oh.
So a woman who can't walk of her own volition broke out of restraints, wrote a bunch of on the wall, and then dipped.
Yeah, could she even reach that high on her own? Is that what you were getting to?
Yeah. How
While I'm looking at the picture again, could I make a criminology roll to see if I notice any kind of, I guess,
hidden message?
coding with it, or is there anything?
That would be SIGINT.
I think I have that. What about forensics?
I would allow a forensics roll.
A criminology one work?
Criminology is methods of crime.
Sadly, it's not quite the same role.
SIGINT is literally breaking codes. It signals intelligence.
I don't got no...
SIGINT, I think, is a great statistic in this
Can I
game.
roll on second?
Here, we look at this. We look at it.
Oh, that's an 11.
Nice.
Right, that is a 10. Right.
Looks like
11's a crit, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
it is. On what were you rolling again?
Forensics.
Forensics. Just looking at the picture, you assume that this is blood. It is definitely hand drawn. There's no implement. It's... I'm trying to think of anything else I can give you. 11's a good roll. Let me go back and look.
I mean, Flynn had already pointed out the discrepancy between like some of the lowercase and the casing of the letters.
There's nothing that strikes out to you about the casing as being obviously important from a forensic standpoint. Maybe from a SIGINT standpoint, possibly.
Okay.
But with your crit roll, it...
Does it look like it's all written by the same hand?
yes.
Okay.
Was this blood tested to see whose DNA it was?
No.
and they washed it off.
Useful. May I still roll second?
Sure.
Success.
Aha.
You're not detecting any coded message within that.
Liar.
You realize it was copious amounts of human blood. That's the other thing I guess you could say. That's not just, ooh, I cut myself and dipped. Like, that, as big as that is perspective-wise, just kind of looking at the facility and getting an idea, looking at Dr. Dallin's office and like, okay, this is a 10-foot ceiling instead of an 8-foot ceiling. Like, that is a large area to paint that much in blood.
Was there any other blood in the room aside from the writing on the wall?
No.
No spatter, nothing.
Nope.
Do you guys have a basement area?
No.
What leads do you have right now? What's I mean, we walked into a very tightly run ship.
Yeah, surely there's some kind of speculation at least.
Yeah. A laundry room, a laundry chute, delivery area that
I believe this is why, when I brought this up, that you were called in. This is unbelievably unusual.
Do the orderlies
would you
work?
say it's
Not
impossible?
Do the orderlies work?
Yes, I would.
Do the orderlies work in specific stations on each floor? Would there be one orderly that would perhaps visit each of these patients specifically?
No, most patients are put to bed by at least 2 orderlies and 1 nurse. So 2 individuals there to physically restrain, and 1 there to not only supervise the restraint, but make sure that the patient is cared for from a medical or psychological perspective. So
perhaps we should speak to the orderlies on duty at the time.
You can speak to any of my staff that you like.
To kind of go off of that, are the same orderlies in charge of the same floor all the time? Do they rotate floors?
There is some slight rotation. Most of them have fairly specific jobs, but the staff is small enough that we do rotate fairly frequently. The orderly, there is no assigned 3rd floor orderly. There is no assigned 2nd floor orderly. Again, with 20 some odd patients and roughly 30 employees, we do pitch in on all floors. Now, Michael, for example, is the one who supervises the security room, but again, he does help on all floors.
To me, it almost would stand to reason if you have just as many employees as you do patients, you would almost have one-on-one, but...
Just since my wife works in a psychological field, I know that at least in dealing with children who are having behaviors, they'd use like 6 people to restrain that kid. So I mean,
sure, I've seen some of that at the school, but I could see more of a zone defense if you had less employees than people. But if you're man coverage, it seems like why wouldn't you just have John Smith always supervising, Phil Dawson or whatever?
There is obviously some rotation, some people going home, some people working later. There are nurses stations that are observational only. There's obviously some more information. I don't want to call in. Dallin continues. I don't want to call in Esther until you're ready to proceed. But she is my head nurse. She's been here. Essentially since almost the beginning of the Dorchester House. She would be an excellent resource, but I know that there may be some questions you wish to ask before that, but she would be happy to give you a tour and let you see or into any place you need to go.
How long has Gail been here?
About 5 years.
What was this place before?
It was a school, actually.
Name of the school?
It was a boys' school, actually. Boston Catholic Archdiocese. I believe it opened turn of the century, roughly, early 1900s.
As a Catholic, that makes no sense. The Archdiocese is... Never mind.
The Archdiocese could open a school.
I've never heard of a school called the Archdiocese. The Archdiocese is an organization.
Well, talk to Detweiler or write it down and figure out what the anagram is for Boston Catholic Archdiocese. The school closed in the 40s or 50s. I believe it operated as a gymnasium or a sort of public area for a while. I also know it was a recreation center called Dorchester House School. It was an abandoned building when we took it over in... you see him kind of roll his eyes back to his head thinking 1986, I believe, is when the foundation purchased it and move forward.
Do you know how long it had been abandoned since before you guys got it?
I think Dorchester House School was mid-60s, early 70s, somewhere in there. I don't remember exactly, but I'm sure it would be easy enough to find.
And Grady, you mentioned earlier that there's like a nearby neighborhood or something called Dorchester.
Dog park?
There is a reservation, Dorchester Shores Reservation. It's a dog park.
Okay. I'll ask, so do you know how they got that name? Is this area...
Dorchester. This area is kind of Dorchester.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
That's the weird thing about Boston or Massachusetts in general. And I don't get it. I literally only know this from being a Red Sox fan, but the neighborhoods in and around are identity based. So it's not just suburbs. It's these areas that are still considered metropolitan Boston have their identities wrapped up, kind of almost like Paris with the arrondissements. You know what I mean? They have these things. I'm not going to swear to it because I've never been to Boston, but I'm going to assume Dorchester is I know just you talk about Lexington and Concord. These are places that have cultural boundaries that don't necessarily match geographical boundaries, if that makes sense. So there are probably half a dozen things in this area that are called Dorchester. There's the Dorchester Pump and Go gas station down the road. There's the Dorchester Recreational Center, and there's the Dorchester blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Because it's weird when you see things from Boston and other folks, they identify, especially it's really cool when you talk about the marathon route. They talk about, even though it's the Boston Marathon, they run through all these places that are Boston, but have this identity as suburbs or as cultural places. Again, not being ever been in Boston, that's what I understand. So Dorchester's probably a cultural signifying locale.
Okay. So has this ever happened before?
No.
Anything like it? Any
No.
scares?
Nope. I mean, patients going off count is not necessarily unusual, but usually these are individuals who are found very quickly. Maybe once or twice we found someone roaming the grounds, had to terminate an employee for being negligent, but vanishing for 3 days? No. 4 days? No.
Were your patients ever allotted any sort of supervised arts and crafts time?
Some, yes.
Any strange drawings, writings, anything in that area?
It is a psychiatric facility, so yes, but nothing that I think is pertinent to the investigation.
Do you keep those materials? Do you document those materials?
There would be some documents, yes. If you were specifically looking to the arts and crafts that some of these individuals have, I may have some stuff in the files I can dig up. Esther may know a few things, or
That would
some
be
of the
wonderful.
other.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Again, I mean, obviously, I've been a professional for 30 years. Nothing that I think is relevant, but obviously, you folks are approaching it from a different situation, so I will see what I can find.
Have you contacted the local authorities?
No.
Any reason?
He just sort of looks at you. And I mean, you don't even need to make the human roll. This is a place where DG agents are put out to pasture. This is weird. They're not going to tell anyone. And you get the sense that this is a man who may be stressed because they've not told anyone. And there may be questions about why they're not telling anyone.
Is this
Yeah.
specifically a program hospital?
No.
Are there
But-
other patients currently here from the program?
I'd have to check, but no, I don't think so.
Please check.
It's not exactly like they are stamped with a green triangle, shall we say, when they are admitted.
Be a lot fucking easier, wouldn't it?
Did you know that these four?
Man, why'd I get this for? No, I'm just kidding.
Did you know that these four were former program agents before they got here, or when they got here?
It sometimes becomes obvious in terms of therapy and other things that they do have some connection, but it is also fairly difficult from a psychological perspective to delineate between.
Well, I just didn't know,
one and the other.
when did, you were aware that they were programmed at today, so were you told, hey, these were program people, they've escaped, we're sending
Yes.
other people in to investigate, sort of thing?
Yes, I think that's a fair analogy.
Okay.
That's a fair.
What about in the past? Have you guys ever had any that you would have thought, or is this the first time you're dealing with the agency?
No, that was part of the situation when Dorchester House was founded, was that there would be
Okay.
a place for individuals of this nature.
So it's really probably just high profile individuals. I mean, anyone who's not part of the agency probably just pays extremely amounts of money to have, their-
Yes, you are correct.
Okay.
So if nothing like this has happened before, how did you get into contact with Dr. Barbas? Did you know him?
I have
Previously,
contacts
or-
for, shall we say, unusual situations.
Is Barbas one of those?
The contacts that I make are not necessarily... Reporting is not necessarily obvious. I'm going to assume you all know that.
Do you have one of these gigantic phones and dial 616? No, I'm not going to say that. But
Do you know a Mr. Richard Zialoni?
No, I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with that name.
Okay.
I do...
Has Dr. Barbas been here?
No, not that I'm aware.
But you contacted him?
Well, I
he
contact the group. The group handles it how the group handles it.
basically, it sounds like how we contact him is how he contacted them. So
Okay.
that's what it sounds like to me.
Do you know if somebody from the group has been here recently?
Not that they have made themselves apparent to me.
Okay.
And I do apologize. I'm more than happy to answer any further questions. I do think it's important, obviously, that you get along with your investigation. I have a couple of meetings to attend, but I'm at your disposal. I just need to make sure that I keep up appearances, shall we say. if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and call Esther in. She can lead you on a tour, whatever you'd like to do. The facility is yours.
She would be able to have access to the files so we can maybe see these drawings and whatnot?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And then Michael was the security
Yes,
fellow?
she would be able to introduce you to anyone you'd like to speak to.
Okay.
Who did you pass the information on to?
Sources. You get the sense, Flynn, that much like Sam, he calls a person who may or may not give him a real name, and then things happen.
I'm suspicious.
It's almost like a clandestine government organization is not very obvious in the way that
Well,
it functions.
I mean, it's just like when Troy called earlier and he didn't get no names or nothing. They just said, "What do you want?" It's done, and that's all he got. It's probably the same thing this guy got.
It's Felix the Fixer.
Fix it, Felix.
Something strange.
Both Sam and Flynn are struggling with this. I just want to know.
Flynn wanted to play DG. Welcome to DG.
Damn it.
Good luck. He pushes a button on the phone, and you hear kind of a, yes? Esther, can you come in here? I'd like you to give our guests a tour of the facility. She says, yes, Dr. Dallin, right away. And a few moments later, a sort of middle-aged, maybe 50s Hispanic woman. I'm trying to see if I have a better description for her that somebody who's a professional writer wrote. Yeah, you would say probably late 40s, early 50s. Comes in. She is broad-faced and dark-haired, piercing green eyes, meticulous in her appearance, wearing scrubs. Her hair is tightly bound to her head. She comes in very self-assured, very confident in her own, walking with purpose. Yes, Dr. Dallin, how can I help you? Yes, please, I'd like to introduce you to my head nurse, Esther. Esther Samagina. Esther Samagina has been here since... She's been here since, and she says, 1997, doctor. Yes, 1997. Oh, no, wait, sorry. Okay, what did I say? When did I say that the Dorchester House opened?
89.
89,
Well,
okay.
he said 86.
Oh, God.
Okay, it's a bit weird. She's been here since, we'll just throw it out there. She's been here since 1990.
Oh.
Esther has been here essentially since the beginning of Dorchester House. She's been head nurse since... And that's when Esther says, 1997, doctor. Yes, 1997. Esther knows the ins and outs. She's been in this facility for many, many years, almost as long as I have. In all honesty, I think she probably knows this place better than I do. You could have no better tour guide, in my opinion, than my head nurse. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have a few things to attend to, but Esther will be able to take you wherever you like. And she's like, absolutely, doctor. And she opens the door and gestures if you should leave his office.
I'll head out.
Please come with me. What can I do for you folks?
Well, what do we want to see first? I'm kind of interested in the security videos, honestly.
We're on the 3rd floor, so we could see the rooms. And then go take a look at the security videos.
Okay.
Yeah. I just don't know what we might find something, but the fact that their rooms have already been ransacked.
Yeah.
There
At least
could be-
get a sense
there could
of
be
like,
someone
where
they
the rooms
missed.
are and
29 staff members, which include Dr. Dallin and Esther.
So 31 total staff.
No, that number includes. There are 29.
so 27.
27, Dr. Dallin and Esther Samagina.
And Gale. So there's
Gale.
26 others.
And Michael.
And Michael.
It's 25.
These are all the names we got.
And there should be a picture of Esther now in the clues.
Man, he really went all out with those portraits.
I want to use as much of the art as I can because this book is f***ing gorgeous. If this book doesn't win an Emmy alone on how it's constructed, then they've been f***ing robbed. I can't wait when we're, hopefully, by the time I get my physical copy, we're mostly done because I just want to show you guys pages out of this book. It's unbelievably gorgeous. Esther says, yes, Dr. Dallin said that you four to have the run of the facility. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. And it's obviously really, really important to take care of these missing patients. So whatever you need, day or night, don't hesitate. I'm happy to help. where would you like to go? What can we do to help?
Could we see Kim's room?
Of course. Right this way. And she takes you sort of back down the middle wing, towards the center. Flynn, your phone rings.
I'll look at the screen.
It says Winston.
Oh. Hello.
Hey, champ. How's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Boston, you said, eh?
Yes.
Sorry about this. About all this. It seems like it's crazy. I can't believe I wasn't informed. Sometimes it's like the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy that way. So, who called you in? Who are you reporting to? Did you get a name?
I'll look at the other people. Winston wants to know who we're reporting to. Am I allowed to say that?
Who's Winston?
Just call him Mr. B.
He just gave us.
Just say the program.
It's the program.
Sure. But did you get any names? It's really important to make sure that I know who you're actually reporting to. Again, it's a paperwork kind of thing. I don't know who called you in on this, but I want to make sure that they go through me next time, because what they've done to you is really not fair. Okay, so I want to make sure that we get this sorted out.
Oh, he just gave us the name Marbus.
Marbus. Now, is that the name he gave you, or is that the name? You know what I mean? Like, sometimes there's it's crazy. Some people want to play spies, cops and robbers, whatever, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
so.
it seems like that's a common thing.
Some people think that this government program is all about cloak and dagger type bullshit. It's a government job, and it's important, for God and country, but that's not what they think it is, So, did you get any other names, or is Marbus all you've got?
Well, I gave you a name.
Okay, Marbus. It wouldn't have to happen to be Barbus, would it?
Well, that's the name I gave you.
Okay. I'm just checking. So, Barbus is who called you in.
Yes.
African American man, 50s, 60s, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Can I ask you another question, Sam? Are you working with anybody else? And you hear a knock on glass, kind of off to your left.
Do any of us else hear that?
You do, actually.
I'll turn and look.
Who's Winston? Is that one of your bonds?
You see a sort of scruffy looking individual, kind of nasty looking teeth. Clearly a patient. He's wearing like the patient stuff, and he's like leaning out from the men's dorm, and he's like knocking on the window, waving at you.
I'll like wave back.
And he holds up a notebook. Anyone else can narrate for the audience what the notebook says.
He lies. Don't tell him.
Don't underlined.
All caps.
So, no, it's really important. I think there's been some sort of like epic cluster here, Sam. So, like, I want to get you out of there.
No, I mean, honestly, it's just me. I got this weird call. I looked into it, got that name, and yeah, I'm just kind of confused. So I just wanted to check with you and make sure that
sure. No, that makes total sense. No. I'm here for you, man.
I give a thumbs up to that weird guy.
So what exactly are you looking into, Sam? What is Barbus got you looking into? Because I'll tell you, Barbus is he's in the know. He's read in, but there are I don't think he's got the most up-to-date information, and I want to make sure that you have everything you need going into this. You know what I'm saying?
Have we arrived at Kim's room yet?
No, at this point you've kind of stopped in the hallway.
Oh, can you like?
Sorry. Hey, I actually I'm in the middle of something. Can I call you back in a bit?
I mean, hold on here. Like, it's just really sorry. This is the only time I got today. It's crazy today. Whatever you got to do. And then you notice that the guy holding up the notebook changes his note.
It says, "Need proof? Ask about Whitwer."
Like, sorry, Sam. I know you're busy. I hate to interrupt you during the day, but it's just really important for this paperwork. My boss is riding my ass. Like, I really got to know what's going on, what you're doing. Because, I mean, Barbus, I don't know the man personally, but it's really important that we're making sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So, like, what has he got you doing? What are you looking into exactly?
What do you know about Whitwer?
Have you talked to Whitwer? Where is he?
I don't know.
No.
I'm asking you.
No, I'm serious, Sam. We have to know. Where the is Whitwer?
Dude, I don't know.
Then what? Like, so you've talked to him? Have you seen him? Have you seen Whitwer?
No.
Roll human.
Got it.
There's a distinct pause and a deep sigh of frustration, as if you're trying to be read through a phone. It's as if somebody's trying to be a human lie detector. Sam, it's super f***ing important right now, okay? I like to be honest with you, okay? And I'm being 100% honest with you. Have you spoken to Whitwer?
No.
Do you know where Whitwer is?
No.
If you encounter Whitwer, it is of absolute importance that you call me immediately.
Am I in danger if I encounter him?
Human again.
Yes.
Yes. You're not sure that that's the truth or not. You think that there is a lot of subtext in what he said, as best as you can tell from the phone. All right, Sam, I need updates. You need to call me in like 6 hours and let me know what's going on, okay? I need to know what you're doing and who you're talking to.
Okay, I'll get back to you.
If it's Whitwer, you need to call me immediately.
Yeah.
The phone hangs up on you.
Wrong number.
Have you told us about this person before?
No. I was going to make an Overwatch joke, but the game wasn't released yet. So who's Winston?
He's a big monkey with an electric gun.
It's because I've made him an Overwatch, but the game's not released for another year at least.
He's a person that I met through...
Troy, make me a roll.
Have I met Winston?
No.
Okay.
Winston doesn't mean fuck all to you.
17.
Can you roll a D100 instead of D20, you cockbag?
Hey, almost
That's
always
a good roll.
success. That is a good roll.
It's a 66.
Uh-oh.
That's crit fail. Well, it depends on what your skill
maybe.
is.
That's true.
It's a crit something.
It's a crit something. Okay. I'm going to take that in consideration. We're going to move on.
Into consideration.
Yep.
Is my buddy still there with the notes?
Nope. Walked away. In fact, he's nowhere near the glass anymore.
How is he affiliated with the program?
Well, I met him at a gathering that Roddrick was at, and he's just been kind of onboarding me.
Excuse me, Esther says, are you still wanting to see Kim's room, or do you guys need a minute?
Yeah, I point over to the glass. What's behind the glass?
Yeah, what is it? Is it
It's just kind of the areas between. You get the sense almost that at the left and the right sides for the men's and women's dorms on the third floor are like hard secured, like doors, like there's a nurse in there keeping an eye on the floor kind of thing. So what you saw was kind of like a glass window with maybe a door in the middle so people could move back and forth. And one of the patients on the third floor was the one who was flashing you those notes.
He was just walking around freely?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem...
Within his restricted space.
Okay. Gotcha.
So here, I'll try and draw it on the map. You guys are, so again, thinking third floor, right? So this is, say, I don't remember quite right, but that's the men's and women's side, right?
Uh-huh.
So like Dr. Dallon's office is maybe, I don't know, here or here. You walked out and were starting to go towards Kim's area, and you saw the guy standing here, like holding that up to the glass. He couldn't have physically interacted with you. He couldn't have...
But he wasn't in a room. He was in like the
common area.
He was wandering around
Right.
the common area of the third floor.
There do appear to be, looking through the glass, like some small common areas. Like, think One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
it's observed and it's secured, but there is sort of a common area where 5 or 6 people are milling about.
I'll kind of glance in there and look and see if I can find him.
There are a few people milling about, possibly. I mean, most of them are turned away from the glass doing various things.
I mean...
Did you guys see...
Yeah, we all seen it, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was obviously trying to communicate with you. And I'm going to ask Esther. I'm going to describe the guy. Be like, is there a guy like this in the men's room up here? I mean,
yeah. You mean probably Ed Wist.
could we swing by and talk to him when we're looking at the other rooms? Is that okay, or
sure? It's not on the way to Kim's room since that's the
we
women's...
want to check out the other men's rooms too.
Sure, absolutely, not a problem. Would you rather go there or go to Kim's room first?
Let's go to the men's.
Sure.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
whatever. That's fine.
And she badges you in. She nods to the nurse who's on duty. You can see a couple of orderlies milling about. And like I said, there are a handful of people just sitting around watching TV, whatever. It's kind of a common area. But they're moving about fairly freely within the common area. You get the sense that you would have to go down the hall and then kind of around the side of the E to get to where their secure rooms are.
Did it seem like Esther would have, like, when Sam got that phone call, was she just standing there with us, or was she?
She was present. She's kind of baffled, but you get the sense that she may not be read in on the program, but you get the sense that she understands that something strange is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Did she react to Whitwer at all when the name was mentioned?
No, not as far as you could tell. Human.
Fail.
No.
Can I check that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if it had to be stuff that you actually had points in or not. Well, I mean, obviously starts off at base 10, but
No, you can check it.
Anything you fail gets checked.
even if it's at 0?
Yep.
Well, you can't roll a 0.
You can't roll on a 0.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. But you will fail it.
That's true. But...
Yeah, would you like to see if you ask her to take you to Ed?
Yeah, could we talk to Ed?
Do you want to go alone? Maybe. I mean, these are psychiatric patients. Don't want to freak them out.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, if you guys want to check out the rooms,
I mean, you guys can hang out here. It's fine. Whatever you'd like to do, you have free reign. I just would encourage you to be careful with patients. Obviously, there are some severe patients
gonna
here.
grip my brass knuckles.
Roger just
the
starts
locker was
fighting the mentally ill.
You said it was Enrique that was the first one
Yes.
found missing. You want to go to his room first while he talks to Crazy Ed?
Sure.
Crazy Eddie's got big deals on couches.
Crazy Eddie got babies on spikes.
How many D's he got in his name?
Got a rack of baby.
You want to rack of babies? Got babies on racks.
I'll do you three first. She sort of takes you down. She kind of leans over to another nurse and says, could you help this gentleman find Ed, please? Oh, yeah. Ed's over here. I just saw him walk down over here. And so someone else is going to take you to Ed. The three of you go to the room of Enrique, right?
Yeah.
There is a thing here that I'm looking for, and I've gone the wrong fucking way in the PDF. You find, oh wait, put a pin in that for the moment. You find a relatively unremarkable 8x10 room. It is a fairly hard, uncomfortable bed. There is a window that is barred. There are restraints on the bed. They appear to be frequently used. Otherwise, there is a complete lack of personalization.
There's no, dresser, drawers.
Up here, they don't even have street clothes, so I'm going to kind of imagine that probably stuff is laundered and taken care of outside of the facility and then brought in. So there may be a small chest somewhere where the stuff is provided, but there are people here that are serious enough that they're not, everybody appears in slippers, they don't even have f***ing shoelaces. So I would imagine that they're going to restrict them from just about anything theoretically possible. So there's probably a nurse station. That's probably the way it is. Esther would probably explain to you, they don't get any personal affects whatsoever. And their clothes are probably delivered every day.
Is there even a small table in the room? There's literally just a bed.
Yeah, this is literally our most severe patients are just literally restrained whenever they're not in a common area where they can be observed. Anything any of you would like to do?
Inspect the bed, inspect the restraints.
Sure. Unless there's anything, the restraints seem to be restraints. They seem to function, nothing crazy. They weren't cut through or anything.
Was this where all the men have their own separate rooms, right?
Correct.
And this was
Enrique's.
Anything under the bed?
Check the mattress, in the mattress, under the mattress. Essentially a whole,
Yeah, you guys can spend 20 minutes going through the entire room if you want.
I'll take a 20.
Are the beds bolted to the ground?
Yes.
Do there seem to be any, markings around the legs of the bed? Like scratching, anything like that?
You can roll forensics, but no, at least at a glance, no. I think you said you had forensics earlier, right? He can roll forensics. Chill out, Daniel.
Oh. Why can I roll forensics? I'm looking too.
Because you just want to keep rolling everything up by 1%. I know what your strategy is.
I passed, though. So I can't...
No, you don't find anything forensically critical.
I'll ask Esther, any way you guys have like a blacklight?
Luck roll? I wouldn't assume so. That doesn't seem like standard issue.
Low. What's that? 10.
Sure. Apparently they have a black light for some reason, so you can get a black light.
Look for some stains.
I mean, anything.
I mean, you have a skill in forensics. You can sweep the room with a black light. You'd have to block out the morning sun from the window to make it function, but you can take another 15, 20 minutes to sweep the room. There's some spatter, some trace elements, but nothing that you would think would be out of the ordinary.
Okay.
There aren't like hidden sigils or anything.
2 hands or tricks? What was that? It was 2 hands or
Yes.
Flynn, since Samuel is speaking
What do your
to
normal
Ed.
Friday nights look like?
This or at work?
That's so sad.
Fair.
Do I have a... Flynn, make me a D100 roll.
Make it good.
37.
You walk over to you're escorted over to a young Caucasian man. He's tall, but, quote, skeletal and hunched. He has square, overly white teeth and thinning blonde hair combed over a bald spot. I put a picture of him. I think that Detweiler has drawn him with some severely f***ed up teeth. He said square white in the description, and that's not the image that I have.
Uh-oh.
But Ed Miller Wist image is now in the Google Drive. Good morning.
Hi, Ed?
Yes. And you are Agent...
No, just call me Sam.
Sam...
Just Sam.
Okay, Sam. And he sort of smiles. You see him pull out the little notebook that he pulls out the little notebook that he was writing notes to you on and kind of opens it up and kind of thumbs through it conspiratorially. How's it going, Sam? How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Good. I'm glad. What can I do for you?
I was, obviously just wondering, the messages that you had for me, I was wondering where those came from, what made you think that, or made you assume that the person I was talking to was lying?
Sam. If I can call you Sam, since I can't call you anything
I invited
else.
you to, yes.
Excellent. Sam, do you know Latin, Sam?
Un poco.
Un poco? I don't think that's Latin, Sam. Do you understand the Latin phrase quid pro quo?
Yes, squid pro row.
In a couple of years, it's going to be all the talk.
Yeah. Tit for tat, Sam. Tit for tat. You give me something, I'll give you something.
I look at the nurse.
No. The nurse is pissed off by now.
Oh, gotcha.
You see him produce a pencil seemingly out of nowhere, and he opens his little book and just looks at you like sort of reporterly, I guess you could say.
Is that why she's mad? Or why is she mad?
Why is who mad?
The nurse.
What?
Did you say she was mad?
No, she's she's...
Oh.
The nurse showed him to Ed and then went back to
I
her
see.
station.
So where are we? Where are Ed and
Kind
I?
of in a corner of the common room.
Okay. People are...
There are some folks milling about.
Gotcha.
You give me something, I give you something. What would you like to know, Sam?
What would
you like to tell me?
What would you like to know?
Where you live, Sam? Where are you from?
You're out of
Jesus
state. Just give her your
Christ.
state.
I'm originally from South Carolina.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Where do you reside now?
I gave you something.
Okay, what do you want to know?
Who's Whitwer?
That's an interesting question. It is indeed. Whitwer. Whitwer's like a name that came to me in a dream. It's an important one. You should know it.
An important name or an important dream? Or both?
Tit for tat, tit for tat. Where do you live now?
Virginia.
Ah, excellent. The answer is ostensibly both. Probably more importantly, important person, but both. Important dream as well, I think. It's a little hard. You get a little rattled in these types of places.
I imagine.
Tit for tat, what's next?
This dream you had where the name Whitwer came to you, what feelings, what associations did you get with the name?
If you don't mind, as we play this game, I think it's only fair that there's an exchange of importance in terms of questions. I don't want you to ask me a mundane question and I give you an important answer or vice versa. So
Seems fair.
Okay. So you'd like to know the importance of
Whitwer. What did he mean to you in that dream?
Okay. A fair question, a fair trade. What's a fair trade for knowing the importance of Whitwer to me, Ed? That's a fairly mundane question. It deserves a fairly mundane question in response. What do you do for a living, Sam?
I make videos.
Really fascinating. What kind of videos?
That's another question.
That's fair. Fair
Say
point.
quid
Fair
pro
point.
quo.
Fair point.
Quid pro quo.
Fair play.
Ask for a bottle of Chianti soon.
Whitwer is a seeker of truth. A seeker of truth in exchange for your knowledge of videos. Quid pro quo.
Wait, I'm sorry. Whose turn is it?
Excellent question.
And for that, I'll tell you, I make videos about strange things.
Ooh, fascinating.
Yes.
Fascinating. And your question is?
Did Whitwer find the truth?
Ooh, hard to say. Sometimes it's the journey and not the destination. It seems like a very shitty response to your question, but I don't know what he did find. He may still be looking. He may be lost in the search.
That's how dreams work, right? Sometimes we just get little snapshots.
Sometimes we learn more than we ever could have possibly handled or imagined. He licks his fingers and goes back to his pencil and keeps sort of writing things. Anything the three of you would like to do. I'll leave Flynn for a minute.
We got another hour and a half of this back and forth to go.
No, I feel like Flynn and I could do this all day. What about the three of you?
Next room?
There's an actor named Sam Whitwer, which I thought was kind of funny.
Oh, yeah, from Being Human.
His name's not Sam, though.
No, his name is Sam.
His name is
Am I
Sam.
Whitwer?
But
Am I an
Whitwer
actor?
Yeah.
Oh,
You know
God.
Tyler Durden.
I am Tyler.
He was also in
Spoiler.
He does stuff for
Not
Star
Another
Wars as well.
teen movie.
I think he does
Yeah.
Darth
Yeah,
Maul.
He's very young in that movie.
Darth Maul in the Clone Wars.
He does Darth Maul and I think Clone Wars.
Huh.
Then he also did. He was the
He was the
I was
vampire
just-
in Being Human.
I was just-
capture and
I was just making sure. I was just making sure Whitwer was another demon name that we came across. So
no.
that'd be Sam.
No, when he
Sam-
said Whitwer, I'm like, oh yeah, I know Sam Whitwer. And then I made the connection. Sam Whitwer.
You can continue on to the next room if you want.
I want.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound weird, but I want to like breathe on the window to like fog it up.
Sure.
It's not weird. Try to see if there's a message.
Yeah.
I see
Is
what
the
you're doing.
window that close, or would it be higher up in this type of room?
The window is of decent size, but it probably on the third floor is barred on both the inside and the outside.
That's what I was trying to decide.
So it'd be
how that
very
was.
hard to do that, but you can definitely try. You get the sense that it's safety glass, so it's kind of like a windshield. If you crack it, it would just crack. It wouldn't break.
Right.
But as you fog it up, you're not seeing anything. I like the idea.
Next room.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to check the walls too in that room, just kind of,
Well, that's.
Yeah.
I think
Feel-
that's
you
why
can
he
feel the room.
used. I think it's why he kind of did the blacklight concept.
No, anything you guys want to throw out for sure.
Blacklight is going to be different than actually feeling the wall, physically feeling it. So
Well, that's fair.
Yeah, you can feel the wall all you want. It's kind of why I'm giving Flynn 10 or 15 minutes of stuff and then coming back to what would be the equivalent
So
time.
we went to Enrique's room. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
The spatter in the room, was it? Does it seem like it was in a particular area?
No, just kind of like, I don't know what all would react to. I mean, obviously, blood and semen react to black light because that's what people say on CSI all the
Right.
time.
Oh,
I'm
skeet,
assuming
skeet,
that
skeet.
there are other things
from the windows to the wall.
all over it. I assume that there are other things that do react to black light. I don't know what all they would be.
Mustard stains.
Bleach? Like, does bleach react? You know what I mean?
I was
like,
under the understanding that the mustard stain came out.
like, you're not getting any traces of things that would make you go, aha, there was blood, or aha, there, you know what I mean? There's...
The answer is this. We win.
Well, no, I mean, even just if there is small amounts of other whatever, I'm wondering if it's in a particular spot.
No, it looks like there's probably, like, Cody personally doesn't know what all reacts to black light. Like, if they clean this place with Windex, or they clean this place with bleach, or they clean it, like, with that react to black light, like, everything you're seeing is normal. And is in the appropriate places. There's no concentration of clues. There's no bizarre pattern of clues. There's no secret demon signs or some shit. There's nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go to the next room.
Adam or Pedro, whichever one you want to do. Unless you want to go to Kim's room.
Whichever one's next. No, we're gonna wait for
We
Sam.
can do Adam's room next. We'll say it's another door or two down.
Sure.
You see a very similar setup. The image from the window is slightly different, obviously, because you've moved a couple doors down.
Sure.
Otherwise, the room looks exactly the same. You can feel the walls. You can breathe on the window. You can use the black light that we don't know why the hell they have a black light. Like, yeah, everything seems consistent.
Do you want us to make a roll or not?
Unless you come up with a new idea, you are not coming up with anything new in terms of your investigation.
Because we're going to do at least all the same things we did in the previous rooms.
Correct. And none of that is yielding any new information.
And I assume you used a black light on the floor, ceiling, everything, probably. Yeah. Everything every area you could reach.
Use it on Esther.
She's just covered in stains.
What is
doing
this?
All the damn laundry.
Dirty go. No, next room then. This was Adam's room. Pedro's room next, I guess.
Okay.
Let's go through the males first.
Yeah, we can do that. Flynn, anything else you want to talk about to Ed, now that you've had a few minutes to think about it?
Sure. Is it my turn?
Do turns really matter?
Well, quid pro quo, I think so. We got to keep the bill even.
All right.
Who was I talking to on my phone?
I must find a question for that sequel. I will answer. I don't know.
But you knew they were lying? See? Go ahead.
I will. It is only fair that I ask you a question that you may answer that you do not know. And you see him sort of again lick the end of the pencil, lick his fingers, and sort of prepare to take notes. What is your reputation with your friends? Please speak into the mic if you're going to ask general questions.
That's a really good
Are they allowed to have pencils? That's a thing? They can't have pens, but they can have pencils?
You see this, please intervene before I get my ass jabbed.
Nobody's questioning
Stabbed
this?
you right in the eye.
I have, but I'm not there, so...
Sorry, that's the thing. I can't ask because I'm not standing there. But
Yeah, I'm more focused on the room. I'm not even looking over there at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think I would really...
What is your reputation with your friends?
Good, I think
bad.
generally positive, yeah.
Just tell them your bond scores.
Well,
So.
there's Liam. He's at a 12.
Liam at a 12.
I just watch him writing with a very sharp pencil like that.
You're going to wake up tomorrow with a text that
Little
Liam's
do you know, his
dead.
next question is, do you want to see a magic trick?
No, God.
Our title track and additional musical arrangements were provided by friend of the podcast, Ian Shannon. Find more of his work at sleepfortheweary.com. Like what you heard? Check out more episodes online at rancorsbrothel.com or the Rancors Brothel on Facebook. You can also interact with other listeners at the Fans of the Rancors Brothel Facebook page. Want to contact us? Reach out to @Rancors_Brothel on Twitter or via email at therancorsbrothel@gmail.com. Most of all, keep circulating the tapes. Much love, everyone.